Hello, my friends. As I sit here pondering my own thoughts, I can't help but feel a twinge of regret gnawing at the edges of my conscience. In 2020, I proudly cast my vote as a blue loyalist, subscribing to the age-old adage of blue no matter who. But now, as the 2024 election approaches, I find myself standing at a crossroads, contemplating and committing to a shift that I had never envisioned, a choice that will give my vote to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. My journey from staunch blue supporter to considering a third-party candidate has been marked by a series of disillusionments and reawakenings. In 2020, I bought into the rhetoric that voting blue was the only sensible choice, the only way to ensure progress and change. But as time has passed, I have begun to see the flaws in this mindset, the dangers of blind allegiance to a party line. One of my foremost concerns is the state of our democracy itself. In 2020, I believed fervently that the Democratic Party stood for transparency and accountability, for the empowerment of the people. Yet as the years have gone by, I have realized that this was far from the truth. The political machine, whether blue or red, seemed more interested in maintaining its grip on power than in serving the interests of the people. Moreover, the erosion of critical thinking and informed discourse troubles me deeply. The blue no matter who mantra encourages tribalism and partisanship. It discourages voters from questioning the status quo or holding their chosen representatives accountable. The powers that be, whether in politics or the media, have benefited from a populace that has remained ignorant and easily swayed. Then there was the issue of corporate influence in politics. In 2020, I believed that the Democratic Party would stand up to big business and special interests, fighting for the rights of ordinary Americans. Yet as time has gone on, I have watched in dismay as politicians on both sides of the aisle have become increasingly beholden to their wealthy donors, their policy decisions guided more by profit margins than by principles. But perhaps what stung the most was the realization that my vote, my voice, was being manipulated and co-opted by those in power. The blue no matter who mantra that I once thought was well-intentioned has instead become a tool of control, a means of keeping the populace docile and compliant. The established powers have thrived on our ignorance and our willingness to toe the party line without any questions. So here I stand, a father of two perfect children burdened by the weight of regret. The dirty truth is that my vote helped create a world far more dangerous and far less equitable for my son and daughter. Their world is one where mobs of people can storm and ransack a department store without fear of reprisal, where the homeless are so plentiful that they have become unsurprising mainstays of the environment around us. A world where their merit, skill, and intelligence, and even their compassion can be overlooked because of the color of their skin and events that have happened hundreds of years ago. I am ashamed to say that I let this happen. To an extent, this is my fault. It is through the commitment to my family and children that I feel emboldened by the prospect of change. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., with his commitment to a grassroots democracy, social justice, common sense, diplomacy, and safety, has offered me a glimmer of hope in a landscape dominated by partisan politics and corporate interests. His advocacy for informed voting and political reform resonates deeply with my concerns as a citizen. His emphasis on empowering communities and challenging the status quo offers a refreshing departure from the entrenched power structures that have held sway for far too long. Yes, I understand the skepticism that surrounds third-party candidates, the fear of wasting one's vote, but to me, voting is not just about pragmatism. It's about reclaiming our collective voice as citizens and also reshaping the political landscape for the better. In the end, my decision to support Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as a newly defined independent voter is not just about one election cycle, but about reclaiming my power as an informed and engaged citizen. It's about challenging the forces that seek to keep us ignorant and complacent and forging a path towards a more democratic and just society. And in doing so, I hope to erase the regrets of these past 4 years and pay recompense towards a happier future for my children.